This TikToker deported her ex-boyfriend when she found out he cheated on her. People get famous for all sorts of stuff, but deporting your ex-boyfriend is definitely an interesting come-up story. And I mean, hey, there's a lot of confusion when it comes to this story as it went down on the Latin American side of TikTok. But this is so viral that it spilled into the English side of things due to how ridiculous the headline is. I mean, come on. She deported her boyfriend because he cheated on her. That's insane. So the main video has 40 million views. Here are the claims. You have this TikToker by name of MontsUser555 who went through a very rough patch in her life with her now ex-boyfriend. There were two main issues with their relationship. Number one, apparently he lied to her about his citizenship. Number two, he cheated on her. When she found out that he was here illegally and cheated on her, she came up with this devious plan, to put it lightly. You know, just kind of kidnapping him and bringing him back across the border. How did she do this though? Well, she surprised him by going to Six Flags because conveniently she was 2 hours away from Six Flags and 2 hours away from the border. So they left the night before so they could spend the whole next day at Six Flags. She drove, he was tired, so he fell asleep. And when he woke up, he was at the Mexican border crossing. Oh boy. And there's a few reasons I'm making this video. Number one, the headline is just so bizarre. And number two, there is so many English comments on this video going, what's going on? We see the headline, but we don't know the story. Can someone translate it? So I took it upon myself to try to run it through an AI dubbing tool so we too can get the gist of what's happening. Obviously, it's a dubbing tool. It's not going to be 100% accurate, but it's good enough to where we actually understand the story. So let's take a look at that together.
Okay, story time of how I returned my ex-boyfriend to Mexico without him noticing. Well, to begin with,
such a bizarre story.
They were cheating on me because we had gone on vacation. So when we got back, I wanted to transfer some photos to my cell phone. And then if you see that, I mean, on the iPhone, like the 2-up, and you see like many tabs, and here in the United States, Snap is used a lot. So there was a message, and I remember that I got in to see the messages, and in Snap, the messages are erased. So I remember that I saw, the message, and there were many that were saved, and you can see them, they are not deleted. And I remember that there were even photos, and I said, no, he's cheating on me. And I remember that I got in, and I saw the name, and I got into his contacts, and I said, that's very cheeky, that. And I realized then that I went to the bathroom like this. But the bathroom made me cry. I was crying, and I was angry, and I was... The truth is, I was thinking, this can't stay like this. I need revenge. I wanted revenge, the truth. And I was thinking, what can I do? What can I do? And I thought, if I tell him what... I'm going to tell him what I saw, and I'm going to run him off.
The dude quite literally effed around and found out. They look young. They look young 20s. So, you really did F around and find out. So she's really starting the movement. Don't cheat. You might get deported if you don't have a citizenship. The situation's so bizarre. Oh man.
But he's going to go with her. And I was also like, I'll help you come and everything. And like, I felt like, well, he's going to come out on top, you know? And I remember what I thought. I said, I'm going to send him back to Mexico. And I thought, well, obviously, if I tell him to go back to Mexico, he's obviously not stupid. Nobody is going to say no to me. He's just going to leave my apartment, and that's all. And I remember that I thought, I am going to take him back to Mexico because he's not going to leave. I said he is never going to leave. Then I remember that San Antonio, where we live, is 2 hours away from San Antonio, and it is at the same time. San Antonio is 2 hours away, and Laredo is 2 hours away.
I feel like she had the directions. Like there was two pathways here. Either she could yell at him and throw a flip-flop at him, or deport him. Clearly, Latina rage is no joke. And I could say that because I've been with a half Latina for more than 7 years now. Clearly with some, it's especially not a joke. This is just such a wild story.
But I rocked the road to San Antonio, and I also rocked the road to get to Laredo. But Laredo. So I remember I said, I'm going to tell him. He was a yes. I thought, I'm going to tell him, let's go to San Antonio right now to go to Six Flags tomorrow because everything was lined up. Everything, because he was resting the next day. And I remember I told him, no, we are going to Six Flags tomorrow and we are leaving right now. Now that it is night and we arrived to take advantage of the whole day and it was already happening. Tomorrow we are not coming back and we were already making reservations at Quinta. And I remember that, right? I thought, and no, if he wants us to stop, on the way to the bathroom or something like that, to look on the GPS for an exit, for a gas or a Stripes or something, or if he wants to eat at a Wendy's, something nearby, and then he will realize that we are not going to San Antonio, we are going to Laredo. I mean, I was thinking, right? And I remember before we left, I told him, like, hey, don't you want to go to the bathroom? I mean, go to the bathroom so we can go, I mean, straight to the
So
bathroom.
she's
and
just
not
fully
stop.
mastermind
And I remember that in
this.
front of my house, there is a strip mall. So in the strip mall, I told him, well, we have to buy things, and that's it. And I said to her, no, well, I will drive all the time. And because it was not much time, it was 2 hours. And I said to her, I will drive all the time. You go to sleep. And now when we get to the hotel, I will talk to you. I mean, so that you can rest. And I remember that when the first checkup happened, we were going to arrive. And I remember that I was thinking, oh no, I mean, if I'm going to get to the hotel, I'm not going to get to the hotel. Oh no, I mean, if it will be right or wrong. But I remembered the messages, but I was so angry. I mean, I swear to you that I had a bad feeling. I swear to you that I had a feeling of anger. I mean, I would come back and I would say, yes, it's good that you are doing this. I mean, I was cheering myself because then I would think, no, I mean, what a bad weight.
She deported him in rage. This is such an insane story. On one side, yeah, man, don't cheat on your girl. On the other, she kidnapped him. This is just like so many levels of messed up.
But then I would also think, I mean, I brought it, I'll return it, and I had paid, and it was like, no, I'm going to return it to you. And I remember that I went through the first one, and in the first one, I mean, it just went through, I mean, they didn't even say anything to me. And in the second one, when you go to Mexico, if they see that there is a little side like that, then they stop you and you go into customs, like, to check your things. So on that side, they did that to me. They told me, no, come to the other side. I mean, to go to the other side, that they were going to check the truck. And I already lowered the glass. And it is in that glass that I went up that they are checking it, right? And
Was he awake?
I mean, they were checking, the truck. And obviously he had already noticed. And he started to tell me that, no, why are you doing this to me? What are you doing and all that? And, well, I mean, I didn't say anything to him. I mean, I started to tell him, like, I really told him, no, well, you want to be a bastard? Well, be a bastard, I told him, but start with zeros. And you come and I'll bring you, I don't know, or I'll help you, I don't know. But, well, you're not going to use me. I told him, if you want to be a bastard, be a bastard. And now I'm leaving you here, I told him. Now I'm leaving you here. I mean, he couldn't go back, you know? Because we were already there on the line. And we passed by and he was saying that they give you, like, these permits and all that. Well, I turned around and got him off. And I remember that I am there in sarcasm. I took out a $50 and I still threw it to him. And I told him, well, what's the use of it? Because anyway, I mean, he had his wallet and he was carrying. The only thing he kept was what he was bringing for.
So I don't know the context of how long this guy's been in the US, but like if he was one of those cases where he was like been in the US like almost his entire life and then suddenly his crazy ex drops him off across the border. He's alone in the middle of the night with $50. Yeah, I think he regretted cheating. Holy shit. What do you even do in that situation? I mean, you are cooked. But again, this is really banking on how long he's been in the US. Like if he has a full connection network and like knows people and has family in Mexico, that makes things a lot easier for him. But if he was just abandoned there and his whole family's on the state side, oh boy. Yeah, this is definitely a very interesting ethical litmus test for how you feel in the story. Either way, the whole story is laughably stupid. I mean, I have never heard of this. The fact that she would happily kidnap him and then tell the whole story of how she committed this felony for TikTok clout is definitely fascinating.
The next day we were going to go to Six Flags and he was bringing prices and he was bringing money and his cell phone. And I said, I mean, I didn't really care about it. Then he came back. But from there, I mean, I don't know about his life, but I remember, I mean, that day when I was coming back, I was thinking, oh, good. I mean, like, what did I do? I mean, I was coming back like one of those times, like, what did I just do? Like, as a big girl, like, what did I do? This is big, you know?
Yeah, it's really
big. And now,
big.
I mean, but to this day, I don't regret it. I mean, for me, it's the best thing I've ever done because, yeah, I mean, what I thought, I mean, well, I was deceived, but I never used it. And now, I mean, that was my revenge. To this day, I don't feel bad. The truth is, I don't feel bad about it. I mean, I'm like, oh, that's good. I mean, like, and I screwed you?
I guess he effed around and found out. Oh boy. She then made some follow-up TikToks where she's essentially just like lip syncing and briefly mentioning this. And also this is all in Spanish, so I'm literally Google translating this so we can get the context. And it says, me seeing that what he confessed is a crime and he could settle for that. If my ex sues me for tricking him into taking him or sees this border patrol, we say that we didn't find him or that it was a joke for TikTok and we didn't want to leave him, okay, or second part in jail. You know, Google Translate clearly is not doing this flawlessly, but we get the gist here. Then you have this border TikTok. You tricked me, but while you were doing it, I taught my nephews to do this and I screwed you. What a win. They got to go in Mexico in. Apart from that, we have more atmosphere. But before we go, some calls for Ray to a few hallucinations at Six Flags. I think to a few delusionals at Six Flags is what I'm assuming this means. So the delusionals who get angry because I return it are the same ones who came looking to get married so they can get fixed and only ended up with child support and no papers. Right. While this story is beyond laughably stupid and bizarre, if this is actually real, that's the definition of kidnapping. She kidnapped and is telling her story of how she kidnapped someone on TikTok for clout. Fascinating. I feel like at this point, TikTok and Kick, the users on those platforms are just going band for band for the wildest story possible. Because what is this? But I mean, hey, at least she didn't humiliate herself like this male Karen cyclist who called the police on some dude who just simply passed him. And it's just an insane story you can check out here that, to put it lightly, really humbles this male Karen. And also, it's pretty much your last chance to grab something from the Matt City Halloween collection that's limited and will be gone forever after October ends. So we got the full mats of the haunted trick-or-treat neighborhood, or mouse mats in all sizes. You can check them out in the description down below, alongside of the cities that we have currently launched. We also have a Moon and Mars base, and we just released Washington, DC. But other than that, I'll see you guys next video. Peace.